Have you ever found yourself doing something and then going like, hey, wait a second, why am I even doing this? Chances are it's because what you might be doing may not really be what you truly value. I know, that might sound confusing, which is why in this episode, we're talking about what are your core values, how to identify them, and most importantly, how your core values affect your goals. Hi and welcome back to another episode of Up It and the Actionables podcast. My name is Peyton. If you've ever gone through a time in your life where you've worked really hard to achieve something, only later to find out that it didn't mean so much to you, well, first off, it is completely normal. Second, tell me in the comments below so I know that you can relate. One of the most interesting things in my coaching experience that I've found is that a lot of people may pursue their goals and even achieve that goal, but may experience little or no fulfillment. Shocking, but true. Because one would think that if you are pursuing your goals and you achieve them, that would be fantastic, right? Well, there are two parts to it. First is if you end up pursuing a wrong goal, wrong as in which is not really meaningful to you. Well, in that case, if you even do achieve that goal, then it will offer little or no fulfillment. In which case, I'm sure you'll agree with me that it is pretty pointless. And second is if you do pursue a meaningful goal, but it is not aligned with your core values, then the chances of achieving that goal are very, very slim. Which is why by figuring out your values, you will not only be able to choose meaningful goals, but also increase your chances of achieving those goals. Figuring out your values isn't going to be easy. It is going to require effort and deliberation on your part. But the great news is that it can be figured out. Your values determine your priorities. Everything that we do or don't do is driven because of our values. So won't it be great if we are conscious about what we value? If you said yes, then that's great. Let's get into how to identify our core values. Step number 1 is to start with a beginner's mindset. It is completely okay if you don't currently know what your current values are. The fact that you're sitting here and you're trying to figure it out is a great starting point. Step number 2 is look at your past experiences. First, look at your happy experiences. What made those happy for you? What emotions and feelings were either expressed by you or received by you? That should give you a good indication as to some of the things that you really value in life. Second part to this is look at your not so happy experiences. Now the thing to remember here is do not spiral into your negative experiences. Just from the periphery, if you can look at some of your emotions that may have been repressed, what you did not appreciate of those experiences, and that should give you a good indication of the things that you do not value. And knowing what you don't value is equally critical to knowing what you do value. Step number 3 is non-negotiable attributes. Now, a little thought experiment over here. Imagine that you can create the life of your dreams and you get to be the person that you choose to be. Think about some of the key attributes that this higher version of yourself absolutely needs to possess. Reflecting on the person that we want to become gives us again a good place where we get to decide what are some of the things that are important to us. Step number 4 is choosing. If you're writing these steps down, by now you start to figure out some key 3 to 4 things that are important and meaningful to you. Step number 5 is extremely critical, and that is selling. Now, after you've written down 2 to 3 things that are shaping up and you think they are your values, the question to consider here is, would you be willing to exchange your values for, let's say, $1 million? And if the answer to that question is yes, well, in that case, then the values that you have written down, you may want to reconsider them, because no amount of money is actually going to be enough to exchange our core values or thing that is really important to us. So if you're willing to exchange your present values for X amount of money, then you may want to reconsider, and there's absolutely no shame in that. It's just that those values are not really your core values. So there's no harm. Choose again. And finally, step number 6 is changing. The one thing that you should keep in mind when it comes to values is that your values can and may change over time, and that is absolutely okay. You should be willing to allow your values to change over time. That simply means that you are growing, that the things that you value may and will change over time. So don't beat yourself up if there is something that you used to value and no longer value. Allow yourself the freedom to let go of past values and be open to creating new values for yourself. And once you've done these steps to figure out your values, the next critical thing to do is to figure out whether the goal that you're pursuing is actually in alignment with these values. For example, if my value is to be healthy, then there is a good high chance that I will pursue my health goals and also be able to achieve them. Compared to if I was pursuing a health goal but I did not value being healthy, then the chances of me achieving my health goal would be very, very less because I didn't really value being healthy. So that would affect my action toward my health goals, and ultimately the chances of me reaching that goal are going to be very less, resulting in me being stressed out. So it works both ways. Either make sure that the goal that you're pursuing is aligned with what you value, or figure out what you value and then pursue a meaningful goal that fits with your value. Only that way do you increase your chances of achieving those goals and set yourself up for success. Either ways makes your pursuit of goals much simpler and less stressful. So that does it for this episode. If this episode resonated, then don't forget to smash that like button, leave a comment, share it with a friend. All this really helps the channel out. I appreciate you so much for watching or listening on our podcast. Do tune in next week and I will see you there. And meanwhile, don't forget, what you want matters and it's really up to you to make it happen. I will see you in the next one. See ya.